In 2013, you designed a piece, a starry-eyed Twiggy, that became a mural in 2014 on the alley side of Blue Lucy. How did that come about? Tell us the story.
So at that point is when some artists started painting murals on this alley in the 600 block. And I was like, I want to paint one. And we had the space to do it. So I asked the landlord, the building owner, if I could do it. And I ended up getting a grant through Hampton Arts Management for $500. And that actually paid for the supplies. And I had Philip Clark and Nick Keklis help me with that piece. And I was always inspired by Twiggy. Like right when I moved to St. Pete, I was kind of having this 60s kind of vibe with my work. And so I was painting a lot of her imagery. And so, I don't know, it's cool that that was my first piece. It's probably my most recognizable piece because it's still there 9 years later. Unfortunately, now there's like a big vinyl fence around it, and but that's street art. One of the things that I always think of is like street art is temporary, like a building could come down or be destroyed or tagged or defaced. So just the fact that it's lasted that long is pretty cool.
When you completed that and some time went by and there was public reception and recognition, did you think to yourself, I want to kind of bring this into the fold of what I do? Or did you feel like it was just a one-off at the moment?
I think at that point, I just felt like it was a one-off. I didn't realize that I could create a career with it. And so the second piece I did was right next to it, and it was the Mr. Sun, which is it's a piece that's based off a 1940s, 50s character by Jack Swinningson. And he was the guy that back in St. Pete, he was a photographer, and he took all those photos of the women with the beach balls on Spa Beach, but he developed the original Mr. Sun. So I was doing a show at the gallery called Berg is the Word, and it was all about St. Pete. And I was like, let's do a mural to celebrate St. Pete, a place that people could take photos in front of and celebrate the past, because I'm really drawn to the past and the future. But that was, an homage to him and his work, but it was an updated version of it. And so, yeah, I've put it on shirts, and now it's on the Sunrunner. So there's like a whole story tied. And I've met his daughter. So through this whole process of using that image, I connected with his family, and it's been pretty cool.
Tell us about the Sunrunner.
So the Sunrunner is a express line that runs first and first north and south, and it's from downtown St. Pete to St. Pete Beach. And so they approached me when they were developing this to use the image of Mr. Sun on the side of the buses. So it's pretty cool to see it now driving around. I'll see him turning a corner and smiling at me.